And now, live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, it's your hosts, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday night, and you know what that means.
That's right. We are back, and it's voice acting night, baby.
Absolutely. We are so happy you were able to join us. I went ahead and made some adjustments to the settings, as you can tell. I thought the music was pretty loud, and the overall sound was pretty overwhelming. Like we could barely hear our voices, which I could hear mine okay, but packages I guess was a little soft, but at least I thought it was. Huh?
Well, here's the thing. When I went to turn up the volume on my stream, I actually hear it clearly now.
Oh. Okay, well, that's great. Okay, so hopefully this makes a little adjustment and makes things better. Because you should still be able to very clearly hear the music, because it was loud last episode. But yeah, this is episode 2 of Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. If you are joining us after, so obviously, for those who don't know yet, I do have a bit of an announcement. The Steel Twins Gaming has been able to acquire a Nintendo Switch 2.
It's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop. That's exactly right. And I streamed Mario Kart World earlier today. Those that caught that stream, thank you so much. Yes, incredibly excited about this new venture. So yeah, any projects that we have, where, we're going to do Metroid Prime. We're going to do the GameCube stuff. We're going to do this. We are a go for that now. So yeah, we have the necessary hardware. So, yeah, I could not be more excited. Also, let's go ahead and plug our our sister channel, brother channel, really, Steel Twins. Andy, what do we got going on there?
Well, I just recently streamed Super Mario Friday, Mario and Luigi Brothership last night. Got up to checked out Slip and Glide Island, hopefully to catch the extension core off guard. There's Metroid Prime Sunday, in which I will be streaming Metroid Prime 3 Corruption tomorrow, starting tomorrow. I'll be back at it on Nostalgic Monday for GoldenEye 007. And I've moved my Legend of Zelda Tuesday timeline to, get this, 7:30 in the morning on Tuesdays. It'll give me plenty of time to do what I need. 2 hours at 7:30 in the morning, just to give you a little bit of Legend of Zelda. And I'm probably going to get started with A Link to the Past. Of course, I will definitely be taking any requests at any given time.
And don't forget, package. I mean, it's your ship. Go ahead and keep running it. But yeah, any feedback that you can have for us, either on this channel or on Steel Twins, Andy, is much, much appreciated. But I think it's just about that time to commemorate the Switch 2 and to commemorate, just Steel Twins Gaming in general. It's time for my second favorite part of the show. And everybody who's watched us over these past 4 or 5 years, you know what the deal is by now. If you have a cap to your bottle or a pin on your can, you go ahead and pull that pin back or twist that cap off.
With a twisty twist.
Hey, Cannon, what time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers, everybody. Pinkies up.
Cheers. Pinkies up.
Purple haze up in my brain. So good.
Yeah, it's 70 and it is 70 and chill out, and it is 70 and breezy, and I'm bringing the purple haze.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we're ready to go to live scene. So as you may notice that we have our camera set up just a little bit different here. Got it stacked so you can see the center of the screen a little more clearly. And I did a quick test run to see what it would look like during live play, and I don't think it's going to block anything. At least I don't think so. But anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Load game, and we're going to... So this is episode 1-4, The Cold-Hearted Aristocrat. We are at the courthouse at the lobby, so let's get it going.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hang on. All right, it's time.
Hello, Cuthbert.
Oh, hi, Miss Tymora.
A lot less jumpy than you were yesterday. I'm glad to see that you're finally getting used to things. So, what did you find in your investigation?
You tell Miss Tymora about everything you've learned over your investigation.
There aren't a lot of clues that point to what actually happened.
Yeah. I know a lot of details about the crime scene, but nothing about the crime itself. This means I'll have to rely solely on pointing out contradictions in the witnesses' testimonies.
Being reactive to the prosecution's moves is a valid strategy. Honestly, I think it was a miracle that you got the commander to cooperate with you at all.
Right, I almost forgot. Commander White appears to really have it out for Ms. Tymora. Actually, I wanted to ask about that. Did something happen between you and Commander White?
Miss McCoy, please proceed to the courtroom with your counsel.
Let's go, Tyrion. The trial's about to start. You should go. The judge is waiting.
Right. Another secret is left buried between us.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, I'll slow down when those thoughts come up. Here we go. Court has now resumed for the trial of Celeste McCoy. Let us review the proceedings from yesterday. Yesterday, the defense presented some shocking oversights made during the investigation.
Yes, I personally saw to it that the investigation was conducted properly this time.
I see. I suppose that puts my mind at ease.
At yesterday's trial, we found an inconsistency between the crime scene photo and the autopsy report. Because of this, the defense tried to push the following narrative: that a third party must have interfered with the crime scene to frame the defendant. However, the prosecution has discovered another explanation. Because of that, the individual who discovered the body would like to testify as to what he saw that night.
Looks like we're going back to where that beginning was.
Mm-hmm.
His eyewitness account will clear up what actually happened.
Interesting. It was my understanding that the individual in question wanted to remain anonymous.
Supposedly, this witness was within the gallery of the trial yesterday. After yesterday's proceedings, he felt that he couldn't stay silent any longer.
So that's her plan. But why would the witness change his mind like that? Did Steelwind persuade him? Or is something else happening here? Very well. Let's hear from this witness. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
My name is Reginald Rudolph.
Triple R.
I'm a chauffeur of the equine variety.
Name
Bruce
Rise Rudolph.
Occupation service.
I'll just stop.
Occupation servant.
I'm terribly sorry, but I'm unfamiliar with that profession?
He means to say that he's a carriage driver.
I see. But in any case, it is my understanding that you found the body. Am I correct, Mr. Rudolph? Go ahead.
Rudolph appears to be writing something in a notebook. He writes with incredible speed. His pen only touches the paper for maybe a second before he's filled an entire page.
Mr. Rudolph?
Forgive me. I was merely taking notes on the people in this room.
Taking notes?
The witness has a certain compulsion to keep a record of every event that he witnesses.
I see. Then I assume we will receive an accurate testimony of how you found the body?
Actually, I witnessed much more than that. I saw the crime as it was being committed.
Oh, shit. So, ad break in 5 minutes, but let's just keep rolling.
And I wrote down everything that I saw.
What? Huh, that is quite the claim. If that's true, why did you choose to remain silent until now?
We had initially concluded that the evidence alone was decisive enough. Therefore, we saw no need at the time for his testimony. However, those circumstances clearly changed during yesterday's trial.
There's no way the prosecution wouldn't leverage eyewitness testimony from the start. Something else is happening here. Very well. Mr. Rudolph, please testify to the court about what you saw that night.
Okay, time for a little witness testimony. I was transporting a client to my carriage that evening. We were driving by the McCoy Tavern when we heard a disturbance. This occurred at 1:28 a.m. Worried that something was amiss, I walked into the establishment to see what the commotion was about. There I saw the defendant. She was lit by the blue glow of the dining room lights. She had stabbed Flinhart McCoy and was channeling magic into a sword. She removed her sword from Flinhart's back, and as he slowly turned to face her, she stabbed him again from the front. She soon realized that I witnessed her heinous crime. She let the body fall to the ground and fled the scene.
Oh, incredible! If everything occurred as the witness described, then I see no room for debate.
Of course, the evidence has always been irrefutable.
I don't remember seeing him when I left to look for Celeste, but it was pretty dark. Celeste, did you see this man that night?
No, this is my first time meeting him. And I didn't see him when he ran out of the tavern that night.
So he has to be lying.
Does that mean he's the one who killed my dad?
She tries her best to hide it, but you can sense her restlessness.
It's hard to say right now, but it's definitely a possibility. The defense may now begin their cross-examination. Cross-examination time.
One moment, please.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, while he's doing that, I was transporting a client on my carriage that evening. What the heck is he doing? Okay. I thought he took care of that before we got going. Anyway, let's just grill him while we're doing this. Held it. Who was the passenger in your carriage? Well.
Sorry about that.
The identity of the passenger is irrelevant. This witness is the one who actually observed the crime as it occurred.
If there was another person at the scene, they may also have crucial testimony.
The passenger is under no obligation to testify before the court. And the current witness's account of the events is more than adequate.
I agree. I see no reason for Mr. Rudolph to disclose the identity of their client. The defense must present a let me try that again. The defense must present a more valid reason to do so. Okay, 25 seconds to ad break. So if you want to keep watching this without interruption, subscribe. On Twitch, anyway.
What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
On Twitch, anyway. You can use your Amazon Prime sub, too. So anyway, go ahead and read that statement package.
We were driving by the McCoy Tavern when we heard a disturbance. This occurred at 1:28 a.m.
Held it. I'm assuming this disturbance was the argument between my client and her father.
Yes, I heard two voices. One young female and one gruff male. Presumably, these were the voices of Celeste and Flinhart McCoy.
Right, that matches up with what their neighbors heard too.
What did you do after hearing this disturbance, Mr. Rudolph?
Well, word that something was amiss. I walked into the establishment to see what the commotion was about.
Held it. You stopped your carriage in the middle of a job? That seems pretty abnormal for a carriage driver. What did your passenger think of this?
Yeah, no quarrel with it.
What kind of passenger would be okay with stopping mid-drive?
The passenger's thoughts on the matter are irrelevant to his testimony. Unless you have any hard evidence to prove otherwise. Now then, please tell us what you saw in the establishment, Mr. Rudolph.
Part of this is stalling, part of this is story. I know where to go, but I think if I press one of these statements, I can hit him with something. But go ahead and read this one.
There I saw the defendant. She was lit by the blue glow of the dining room lights. She had stabbed Flinhart McCoy and was channeling magic into a sword.
Held it. You sound certain that you saw my client and the victim. How were you so sure it was them?
Flinhart McCoy and his daughter were well known within the town. Flinhart made himself quite known in the region through his social activism. And young Celeste dresses in a manner that is far wealthier than the townsfolk of Cornhaven.
Do you live in the same town as the McCoys? How would you know about this?
I don't live there, but my work begins me there quite frequently.
My
work brings me there. Okay, listen. I don't live there, but my work brings me there quite frequently.
The witness's place of residence has no bearing on his testimony. What matters is that he was there when the murder occurred.
Why is Steelwind deflecting questions about his personal life? Because they're not important.
Wait, go back to that fourth statement.
Okay, I know what's going on. So check it out, right? Something was digging at me, right? He goes, oh, it's a blue light. It's a blue light. Well, if we take a look at Mage Blade here, it says here, while under the effects of this spell, the object emits a yellow radiant glow. That's not blue, right?
Right.
Objection! Your Honor, it's clear that the witness's testimony is contradictory, and this piece of evidence proves it. I fail to see how that proves anything, Mr. Cuthbert. I guess you're right. Oh, boy.
Oops, wrong one. Try it again.
Well,
check out the broken power cell.
Oh, that's
Check
right.
out the broken power cell. See what we got here. It says,
crap. All right.
The McCoy Inn is outfitted with several lamps powered by artificery. However, the arcane power cell has been broken for weeks and the lamps can't be turned on. This means that the lights were not operational during the murder.
So, yeah, so it was pitch black. How did he see a blue light? Objection! Mr. Rudolph, you testified that you saw my client murdering the victim, and you supposedly saw her casting magic while doing so.
See, we're picking up where we left off.
Yep.
Yes. I could never forget such a grisly sight. That memory was burned into my memory.
I see. Well, it's funny that you say that.
How so?
Because your entire testimony was a complete lie.
What?
Are you accusing the witness of perjury? Surely you know that such accusations can't be made lightly, Mr. Cuthbert.
My accusation is far from baseless, Prosecutor Steelwind. Take a look at this report. The dining room lights are artificery devices that are powered by an arcane power cell. However, that same arcane power cell was broken during the time of the murder. The dining room lights had no energy, and the room would have been pitch black. The witness couldn't have seen anything, much less a homicide.
Wait, I can explain.
There's no need, witness. You could have easily seen another source of light. Perhaps one of the McCoys lit a candle because of the blackout.
The witness clearly described a source of blue light. A candle or lantern wouldn't emit a color like that.
Then the witness was clearly mistaken.
The witness records everything he sees in his notebook. He even remembers the exact times that each event occurred. So why would he be incorrect about such a clear and obvious detail? No, what the witness saw was clearly some form of magic. And due to the lack of power, it couldn't have been artificery. It must have been an arcane spell.
That's it.
What is it, witness?
I must have made an incorrect assumption.
Really?
Please allow me to revise my testimony.
What do you think of this, Prosecutor Steelwind?
If the witness wants to revise his testimony, then I see no harm in obliging him.
And you, Mr. Cuthbert. If he thinks he saw something different, then it's only fair to hear him out. I'll tear through each of his lies no matter what he does.
All right, time for the witness testimony.
What in the piss knuckles is this? Zion the Potato has entered the chat.
That's right. This is Tyrion Cuthbert, aka Ace Attorney with magic. Yay! Well, remember now, yesterday it was revealed that Flinhart was killed using magic. They must have seen Flinhart's daughter channeling a magic spell. The spell was called Mage Blade. Am I correct? That's it. The blue glow that I saw must have been created by Mage Blade. But that's not true. Remember when you saw the Mage Blade?
Yep, that's right. I jumped the gun a little bit there, but yeah, Zion the Potato says he looks like Markiplier, kinda. Well, he does have his hairdo. I guarantee you that, or I can see that rather. I see. So the blue light that you saw came from the defendant's magic. Mr. Cuthbert, you may proceed with your cross-examination. With pleasure. I know exactly where to go. Don't even tell me.
Cross-examination time.
Ding, ding. No. So here. Go ahead.
I beg to differ.
I hope I still got my quips. Hey, if you got him, smoke him. Objection! Mr. Rudolph, You don't know much about magic, do you?
Of course not. You trying to say that I should recognize Celeste's mage blade?
No, I admit that you probably wouldn't know about Mage Blade, but that's exactly where your mistake was.
My mistake?
Mr. Rudolph, if you were aware of how Mage Blade works, then you would know that the spell emits a yellow, radiant glow. Which means the blue glow you saw couldn't possibly have been Mage Blade.
This is ridiculous. I'll grant you that the witness clearly remembers seeing a blue glow. But what significance could such a minor detail have?
You're a liar, Rudolph the war-stashed Rhinemark. Listen, there's somebody coming up here that deserves all of your vitriol, Zion, so holster him real quick. It's extremely significant, Prosecutor Steelwind. If the witness did see a blue magical glow, then he must have witnessed another spell at the scene.
Preposterous! You don't have any evidence to back up that claim!
That blue light made a large impression on the witness. He wrote it down in his notebook and he specifically mentioned the color. There's no way he would be mistaken about something like that. So, what did you really see, Mr. Rudolph? Did you see my client at the scene casting a spell that she couldn't possibly cast? Or did you see another mage at the scene?
Well...
Your Honor, the defense has no right to accuse the witness like this.
Let me remind you that perjury is a crime, Mr. Rudolph. If you are found to have lied in your testimony, you will be prosecuted.
No, wait, please.
And when the character comes, I want to get the round one fight from Mortal Kombat so I can do my thing. Here he comes. Now that is quite enough of that.
Garrick Pierce suddenly steps down from the gallery and walks to the witness stand. He's breaking every possible rule in the book, but no one in the room moves to stop him. The bailiff looks at the judge nervously, but the judge just narrows his eyes and carefully watches Pierce. Pierce, meanwhile, shoves a still flustered Rudolph off to the stand and begins addressing the courtroom.
Oh mein Gott. Yep, this is the guy. So anyway.
What is he even doing here?
I will not stand by while you harass my servant.
Pierce, we discussed this. There is no need for you to take the stand.
And what, pray tell, did they discuss? Nonsense. I have nothing to hide. And if you had done your job properly, I wouldn't have needed to intervene. For the first time, Steelwind doesn't seem to have control of the situation. What is the meaning of this, Miss Steelwind? Who is this man?
This is Garrick Pierce, Your Honor.
I feel this is a round one fight moment, so I'm gonna just get to thinking, yep, rack your brain, Bubba. Here we go. That is Lord Garrick Pierce to you, Steelwind. I am the honorable heir to the Pierce noble house. In any case, I must apologize. I'm afraid that these misunderstandings are entirely my fault. What do you mean? You see, Rudolph wasn't the one who witnessed the crime that fateful night. It was me. I was the one who witnessed the crime. Shut
your blasphemous ass up, Garrick Piss. So I'll read the comments.
That's a little simple, but okay. I'll allow it. I had my driver report the body so that I could remain anonymous. What? Are you saying that you had Rudolph lie for you? I simply dictated to him what I saw and had him repeat that to law enforcement. It simply wouldn't do for a member of the nobility to appear publicly in court. Lord Pierce, regardless of your intentions, this is a very clear act of perjury.
But from the
Go ahead.
From the look on the judge's face, you can easily tell that he won't face any actual consequences.
I understand, and I will accept the consequences of that. But I would be remiss if Rudolph's shoddy testimony allowed that girl to escape her crimes. Please let me testify as to what I saw that night. Very well. This is highly irregular, but I believe the court will benefit from hearing your testimony. However, know that this misconduct has hurt your credibility. Very well.
Okay, time for the witness testimony.
On the night of the murder, I found myself unable to sleep, so I went on a leisurely carriage ride around Cornhaven. I happened to be passing by the McCoy Tavern when I heard a loud commotion from within the building. Curious, I stopped my carriage and took a single step inside the establishment. That is when I saw the scene inside. I saw the defendant stabbing that poor man twice with her sword.
That cravat whack, his hair whack, his papa's attitude whack, his blasphemy whack. I want to kick his pale, simplistic ass.
Don't you mean you want to whack his ass? Mm-hmm. Garrick Pierce. He's a member of the nobility.
That means he's probably a mage, right? And he's the only other mage that was there that night. Does that mean...
There's no doubt about it. He's the only person that could have left a trace of transmutation on the body. He has to be the mage that we're looking for. Sorry, this must be a lot for you right now.
Dollar store Edgeworth looking ass.
Don't worry about me. Focus on taking him down.
I probably could have put
a lady.
Cross-examination time.
Time for a little cross-examination.
I probably could have put a little more salt and pepper on that, but we're here now. On the night of the murder, I found myself unable to sleep, so I went on a leisurely carriage ride around Cornhaven. I'm gonna grill him on that. I'll grill him on that just because of the story. Held it. That seems like a strange way to pass the time. Not that I believe him for a second.
The witness's eccentricities are beside the point. What matters is that he was clearly at the scene.
I wouldn't quite put it that way, but nevertheless, I happened to be passing by the McCoy Tavern when I heard a loud commotion from within the building. Let's just keep going. Curious, I stopped my carriage and took a single step inside the establishment. That is when I saw the scene inside.
Throw him on that, because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because I'm going to get to this. Held it. If he was at the tavern entrance, that would mean he was here.
Crime scene map, McCoy Tavern has been updated in your court record.
Yep. You saw the entire scene from the tavern entrance? It would be quite
Objection!
dark.
Objection! I object to his entire Nickelodeon-looking existence.
You mean Crunchyroll? It would be quite dark considering that the lights weren't operational, even if my client was using Mage Blade at the time. Of course, I'd forgotten that detail. I couldn't see what was happening, so I used my magic to illuminate the scene. You used magic at the crime scene? Yes, I remember it clearly. I conjured a blue light to illuminate the scene. That same blue light must have been what my driver saw. I thought that Rudolph didn't witness the crime at all.
If I had to guess, Mr. Rudolph must have seen the blue light from the carriage. He must have made that detail a part of his testimony earlier.
That actually makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Rudolph was so sure that he saw a blue light. It'd be strange if he was lying about that. But anyways, which spell did you use to illuminate the crime scene? It was the Conjure Light spell.
Conjure Light has been added to your court record.
For the duration of this spell, for the duration of this spell, a mote of magical light appears in the caster's hand. The color of the light is chosen by the caster and can be changed at will for the spell's duration. This mote of light provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further. That's going to be important, and I'll show you why. Your Honor, if the witness used magic at the crime scene, then I'd like for his spell compendium to be added to the court record.
I see no reason to invade the witness's privacy over a trivial illumination spell.
I agree. The defense would need a stronger reason to requisition the witness's spell compendium. Right you are, Your Honor. Your wisdom is truly fitting of your station. Oh, shut up. I used Conjure Light to illuminate the scene from the tavern entrance. From there, I clearly saw the crime unfold. So, check it, dude. So, if we take a look at this map, a square is 5 feet, right? So,
right.
okay, that's step one. Step two, take a look at the spell. This mode of light provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further. So the conclusion is this. There's 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Even if we count this as square 1, 2, 3, 4, that's square 5, the victim is at squares 6 and 7. So even if he was at the entrance, he couldn't possibly have seen the victim from there. So, objection! Lord Pierce.
Oh, you hit him.
Yep, I did. The judge looks like the tall dude from Phantasm. Tell me I'm wrong. Inconclusive. So, Lord Pierce, you said that you illuminated the scene from the tavern entrance? And you only took a single step into the building? Of course. I remember it very clearly. I stood only at the entrance. In that case, I'd like for you to take a look at the map of the tavern. If we take a look at this map, that would place you right here, where the W is. Am I correct? Of course I was. I do not know what you wish to achieve by having me repeat that fact. Conclusive. Tell me you don't see it. Just get rid of the beard and there you go. Again, I haven't seen Phantasm. Sorry. I accept any penalty for my cultural ineptitude. Anyway, well, I find it interesting that you illuminated the crime scene from all the way back there, considering that Conjure Light only illuminates an area within 15 feet. What?
The spell's range is irrelevant. We've already established that the victim would have been illuminated by Mage Blade.
During his testimony, Lord Pierce clearly stated that he couldn't see what was happening. That's why he cast Conjure Light in the first place. However, Conjure Light doesn't work like a normal source of light. It only provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further. If he had stayed at the entrance, his spell wouldn't have done anything to help illuminate the scene. But what does this mean? Lord Pierce, did you illuminate the crime scene or not? Well, I can answer that question for you, Your Honor. Lord Pierce did illuminate the scene of the crime. He illuminated it because it was standing right where it happened. Mr. Cuthbert, are you trying to say that Lord Pierce was that close to where the murder occurred? How would that be possible? Well, there's only one way this scenario would make sense, Your Honor. And that would be if Garrick Pierce was the one who murdered Flinhart McCoy. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hold on for a moment. This is absurd. I could have easily used a different spell to illuminate the room. And which spell would that be, Pierce? The name escapes me. I'm not sure which one it was now that I think about it.
You idiot!
Well, maybe we can figure it out together. When you relinquish your spell compendium to the court. What? This is a clear violation of my privacy. Steelwind, why aren't you objecting to this?
If you had listened to my instructions, you wouldn't be in this situation. You made your bed. Now lie in it.
Steelwind, you treacherous. That's enough. It appears that the prosecution has no objections. With everything that has occurred, I must ask that Lord Pierce relinquish his spell compendium to the court.
Garrick Pierce's spell compendium has been added into the court record.
Garrick Pierce's spell compendium. It contains the formulas for the following spells: Prestidigitation, Conjure Light, Conjure Water, Frost Wave, and Shape Liquid. And yeah, I got a penalty for not knowing about Phantasm, and he banged the gavel so hard that it broke. Well, now you can't bang the gavel anymore, Zion. Anyway, this is Prestidigitation, an evocation spell. The caster creates a simple and harmless visual effect around their hand. This effect will last for as long as they maintain concentration on the spell. Conjure Water causes water to magically flow out of the caster's hand. This water will flow so long as the caster maintains concentration on the spell. Frost Wave. Anything caught within range is hit with a blast of extremely cold air. Liquids hit will be immediately frozen, and organic life will immediately enter stages of hypothermia. Oh boy. Shape Liquid. While concentrating on this spell, the caster can magically manipulate up to 10 liters of liquid and form it into complex shapes. At any time, the caster can choose to freeze the liquid and solidify its current shape. While frozen, the caster can also choose to make the liquid instantaneously melt. Hell of a spell there, buddy.
Good job, Tyrion. We got his spell compendium.
With that, this case is as good as mine. Or is it? She didn't even try to stop me from taking my spell compendium. She wouldn't let that happen just to spite Lord Pierce. She definitely still has something up her sleeve. Yeah.
I smell plot with a capital P-U.
Indeed, something does stink here. Your Honor, I've looked at the spells in Lord Pierce's compendium. Conjure Light is the only spell that he can cast that would shed a blue light. This renders his testimony and many of his statements false. I can practically hear Lord Pierce grinding his teeth. Actually, you know what? That's a narrative thing.
You can practically hear Lord Pierce grinding his teeth.
Zion buys a new gavel for $500 million. Brother, I hope that's Monopoly money. Your Honor, Lord Pierce could very well be a suspect in the murder of Flinhart McCoy. The defense argues that this presents enough reasonable doubt to acquit the defendant. I acknowledge that Lord Pierce's actions are quite suspect. However, I will not pass a verdict just yet. There is much more we need to learn.
What? That's not how it works. We proved that there's reasonable doubt. That should be enough to acquit me, right?
In a normal case, maybe, but it's different for this trial. The public won't accept an unsolved homicide involving magic. Unless we can unequivocally prove your innocence, the court will keep drawing out this case.
What? But that's not fair.
That's just how the system works. Our court system doesn't exist to exact justice. It exists so that the kingdom can save face.
No.
However, the court will be suspending the trial of Celeste McCoy until further notice. That is, until Lord Pierce can be investigated as a possible suspect.
Objection!
Objection!
Whoa!
Oh, told you I'd smell plot.
A possible suspect? The very idea of that is preposterous, Your Honor.
Damn it. I knew she was planning something.
Let's revisit the basic facts of this case, shall we? Flinhart McCoy was murdered using a blade with a transmutation spell active on it. Mr. Cuthbert, why don't you tell me the spells that Lord Pierce knows?
All right. Spells are prestidigitation, conjure light, conjure water, frost wave, and shape liquid. Huh. Ugh.
You've realized it too, haven't you? Lord Pierce doesn't know any transmutation spells that can be channeled through a solid object!
What? That can't be right. Hi, Maddie.
Maddie! Thank you so much for joining up.
Objection. Aria, I'm gonna hit you in the face with my gavel. Hey. We don't condone violence against women, pal. We don't. And I'm only half joking when actually, I'm not joking when I say that. So Garrick says, You're right. You're absolutely right, Lady Steelwind. I couldn't have possibly committed the murder. Oh, I see. With that in mind, that would leave the defendant as the only possible killer.
But he was the only other mage there. He has to be the real murderer.
But he doesn't know any transmutation spells that can affect a solid object. We can't prove that he stabbed him while casting magic.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How did he do it then?
Objection. Objection, Ari. I'm gonna handshake you, but I still don't like you.
She's right. How did he do it? If there are traces of transmutation magic on the wound, then Flinhart was definitely stabbed by something magical. But none of his transmutation spells can affect a steel blade.
That's better, Zion.
Does that mean he used something else? The defense did cast some doubt on this witness's testimony. Nevertheless, I must conclude that he could not have possibly committed the murder. With that in mind, held it! Please wait, Your Honor. We still can't conclude that Lord Pierce couldn't have committed the crime. What are you on about? Lady Steelwind said it herself, you commoner. I don't know any spells that can be channeled through a metal blade. He's right, which can only mean one thing. You didn't use a metal blade, did you? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Cat got your tongue, bitch.
Thanks, Maddie, by the way. Big win.
Yeah, congrats on the Switch, too. Thank you so much.
What nonsense is this? The autopsy report clearly states that the wound was created by a blade. If he didn't channel magic through a blade, how could he have possibly committed the crime?
Yes, your claim seems quite contrary to the facts thus far, Mr. Cuthbert.
Which spell did Lord Pierce use? Yeah, go ahead.
Which spell could Lord Pierce have possibly used to kill the victim? So, okay, I know the answer, but before I do, the first thing I thought of was Frost Wave, because you can freeze liquid because there was the liquid in the bottle, right? You know, and you know, and I saw like a blue blast, so I thought, oh, he got hit with Frostwave, but that was wrong. It's this. He can manipulate up to 10 liters of liquid and form it into complex shapes, like a sword. At any time, the caster can choose to freeze the liquid and solidify its current shape, like a sword. While frozen, the caster can also choose to make the liquid instantaneously melt to get rid of the evidence. You see, Your Honor, Garrick Pierce didn't kill the victim using a sword. He killed him using an object shaped exactly like a sword. Gah.
What?
I'm afraid I don't quite understand, Mr. Cuthbert. I'd like for the court to take a look at Lord Pierce's spell compendium. I thought you were going to say like a sword again on the last one. No, but that's I'm glad that you're thinking that way. Garrick Pierce knows a seemingly insignificant spell called Shape Liquid. With it, he can control a body of water and shape it into any complex shape he wants. Then he can freeze that liquid, maintaining its current shape. A shape like a sword.
What? No! Is it possible that he...
What do you have to say for yourself, Lord Pierce? What do I have to say?
Pierce's breathing becomes more frantic. He's clearly not used to being put in the corner like this. You can see his stress and frustration emanating through the eye of Horus.
I have him now. Time for the finishing blow. Argument. I'll tell you exactly what I have to say, you commoner. I'm not the one on trial here. We're here because that bastard child didn't know her place. She's just a peasant, yet she still learned the arcane arts. And look what happened. I saw the murder. I witnessed everything. That girl used our holy arts to murder her father in a fit of rage.
I beg to differ.
Hey, dumbass, you couldn't see a damn thing. The lights weren't on. No, that's not right. He claims to have witnessed the whole murder, but I've already proved that it didn't in the last testimony. All I have to do is show the evidence that proved him wrong.
What?
Okay, so that's the wrong one. It's got to be
conjure light.
It has to be no. It's either the map or the spells.
Yeah, spells. Look at conjure light. See what this says. Conjure light. So for the duration of the spell, a mote of magical light appears in the caster's hand. The color of light is chosen by the caster and can be changed at will for the spell's duration. This mote of light provides illumination up to 15 feet of the caster and no further.
Now, so I'm wondering if it's the map because he couldn't see anything. But what the fuck? I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And how? Okay. And how, pray tell, did you see everything? If you recall, you testified that you only took a single step inside the inn, but you would have needed to be within 15 feet to see my client with conjure light. This again. If you're going to keep treading on that one detail, then I admit it. I stepped further into the inn. I kept that detail out of my testimony, all because I knew that you'd use it to cast suspicion on me. Lord Pierce. But you didn't just keep that detail from your testimony, did you? You testified the opposite. That makes you guilty of committing perjury. No, I mean, gah, you miserable wretch. Garrick Pierce has openly admitted to committing perjury in the courtroom. His lies haven't gone unnoticed. And let's not stop there. For your story to be true, you would have needed to be within 15 feet of my client. According to your testimony, my client had just finished committing a murder. Wouldn't she have noticed you? If you were that close, then you would have surely been close enough to apprehend her. So why didn't you? Don't you have a duty to your citizens? Gah, shut up. Shut your dirty peasant mouth. That woman was armed. I had no reason to put my life in danger. She was wielding her sword after the murder. I was terrified when I saw her holding that bloody sword. My life was in danger.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, dumbass. Shut up. So she wasn't wielding the sword. Okay, so hold on a second.
Look at the map. But, okay.
Okay, claims to...
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have proper... Okay. All right, I'm going to go for it. I thought it was the other way around at first.
Take that. Oops. No.
No, he claims that Celeste was holding her sword after the murder. But with his proposed sequence of events, that shouldn't be possible. Is there a piece of evidence that proves Celeste couldn't have been holding the sword?
Oh, wait a minute. The picture, see that? Look at the picture.
Yeah, she wasn't holding the sword. It was still stuck in him after he was dead.
You're still in cave, by the way.
Oops. Yeah, it was still stuck in him after he was dead. She was wielding her sword after the... No, she wasn't. It was still stuck in him.
Take that.
But that can't be right, can it, Lord Pierce? This photo of the crime scene shows that the sword was left in the victim's body. How could she still be wielding her sword if she left it there? What? God, damn you. Damn you. Steelwind, why aren't you saying anything?
What?
Prosecutor Steelwind.
Go ahead.
Prosecutor Steelwind has lost her usual air of confidence. You find it strange, though. Even when you had the advantage, she always maintained her usual poise.
Sword, hide the evidence. Is this Victorian era? It looks like Victorian era. I don't know, actually. It could be modern. Like, it's definitely a fantasy realm. Anyway. Lord Pierce, please pull yourself together. How can I remain calm when this charlatan is trying to frame me? This is a complete travesty of our justice system. I came here to reveal the truth and testify against that criminal. And what do I get instead? Slander from some lowly defense attorney.
But didn't he commit perjury?
Yep. Dumbass. You talk about justice, but you've committed several acts of perjury to twist the outcome of this trial. You're clearly not acting in good faith. Gah. You don't care about justice. You just want to further your agenda. So admit it, Pierce. You created a makeshift sword using shaped liquid, and you used it to impale Flinhart. You shoved my client's sword into the wound while the remnants of the real murder weapon evaporated. It was a perfect crime, wasn't it? By the way, that pose look familiar?
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that.
Yep, anyway. What? Lord Pierce? My apologies, Your Honor. It's just that I realized something absolutely hilarious. What? Has he finally lost his mind? The defense put forward an interesting theory, but there's one problem with it. And what's that? I think you said it yourself. Oh, he's that newfangled crazy everyone's talking about these days. I don't think it's new. I think you said it yourself. You shoved Celeste's sword into the wound while the remnants of the real murder weapon evaporated. It was a perfect crime, wasn't it? You see, it would have been a perfect crime Because any evidence to support that theory would have evaporated with that frozen blade.
What?
No! He's right! If he used an ice blade to kill Flinhart, it would have evaporated by now. Then that means... there would be nothing left of the murder weapon. You've spun quite the tale here today. But in the end, you don't have a shred of evidence to support it, do you? You have nothing on me.
Is there anything we can do?
You become quiet.
Tyrion! Why isn't he saying anything? Is it really hopeless?
But all it takes is one look at the expression on your face. Any worries she had instantly disappear because she realizes the expression on your face. It's the same expression you made every time you defeated her.
In chess. What is this? You can glare at me all you want. It won't change the fact that you've lost. I despise people like you. Huh? You twist the system to serve your own ends. You trample on the lives of innocent people.
Oh, he's screwed. You damn right.
But as long as I'm here, I will never let that happen again.
Naught can remain concealed.
The empowered eye. Ooh. What did I just do?
Your head feels like it's about to burst. The pain is unbearable and overwhelming. But at the same time, you feel an extreme sense of clarity. As if you could see more than you could before.
I can't believe that peasant pushed me this far.
Once again, you see Pierce's thoughts through the eye of Horus. But this sensation feels different from how it usually is. It's more intense and potent this time. It's almost as if you could do more than just read his surface-level thoughts.
The empowered eye. You've activated the empowered eye. With it, you'll be able to do more than see the witness's thoughts. You'll also be able to affect what they think about. Project items into Pierce's mind to evoke thoughts from him. You'll want to project items that make him think about the murder. Evoking the right thoughts will raise your insight. Once the insight gauge is filled, you'll have everything you need to implicate him. So I had a little trouble with this, but now I know what I need to do. I'm going to project the shape liquid spell into his brain. So, sim salabim.
Take that.
After all the trouble I went to, I can't believe that lawyer figured out the spell I used. Well, no matter. It's not as if there's any evidence to prove that I used it. I'm lucky that old fool had that bottle of water with him. What?
Water from a bottle?
Water from a bottle? Huh. Wait, a bottle? Well then, as riveting as this has been, I believe it's time for me to take my leave. Now wait a minute, Pierce. What is it now, you wretch? I'll say it as many times as you need to hear. There is no evidence of a liquefied weapon at the crime scene. Well,
I beg to differ.
Three, two, one. Take that. You're right, Pierce. If you did use shape liquid on a body of water, the murder weapon would have evaporated entirely. Ah, it seems you've finally gotten that fact through your thick head. Bravo. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Pierce. What if you didn't use shape liquid on a body of water? What if it was another type of liquid? What are you going on about? Pierce, shape liquid doesn't just work on water. It works on all kinds of liquids. This shattered bottle contained the liquid that you cast your spell on, didn't it?
You show him the picture of the shattered bottle of lotus juice.
That bottle. Pierce, I found the shattered bottle on the ground near the victim's body. I wonder what caused it to shatter. You must have decided to use any liquid you could find. Luckily for you, the victim was holding the perfect quantity of liquid in his hands. I wonder, Lord Pierce, if we had someone analyze the broken pieces of this bottle, would we find traces of transmutation magic? Duh. You little... That still proves nothing. So what if there are traces of magic on the shattered bottle? You still don't have a murder weapon. I wasn't finished, Pierce. What? You see, the liquid contained in this bottle wasn't water. It was soda. So, what difference does that make? A blade of ice made out of water would have evaporated entirely. But a blade of ice made out of soda would leave a puddle of dried residue. No, it can't be. I'd wondered why there was such a circular trace of magic under the body. If we checked the outline of that trace, I'd bet we'd find a dried puddle of soda residue. That would use your... Let me try it again. And Zion the Potato says, I will knock his teeth out and make him look like my Uncle Preaches. Jeez. That's funny, though. That would prove that you used your magic on that soda. There's your murder weapon, Pierce. And that's checkmate. Cheeseburger.
Bailiff, tell Orem to analyze the crime scene at once. We must determine if this puddle of soda residue exists. The time window to find traces of magic is closing.
So, we had our team search the crime scene for that soda puddle. I really can't believe it, but we found it. In fact, the outline of the dried soda lines up exactly with the outline of the trace of transmutation magic.
Huh.
We checked the broken bottle, too. There were traces of transmutation magic on it as well. There's no doubt about it. Someone used magic on that soda.
I see. Thank you, Orem. Please escort Lord Pierce back to the stand.
What do you have to say for yourself, Pierce? What do you think you've accomplished here today? Do you honestly think you can indict me? I'm an aristocrat from the highest echelons of our society. That fool of a man was an insurgent. He was a threat to society, and I did my civic duty by removing him.
Objection!
Objection! Bailiff, please escort the witness to a holding cell.
Steelwind.
First-degree murder is punishable by execution, Lord Pierce. I suggest you remain silent, lest you incriminate yourself further.
What? You can't be serious.
Shut your insidious mouth!
Ah.
Well, what are you all waiting for? Take him away.
Yes, take him away at once.
Garrick Pierce, you're under arrest.
Here, hang on 1 second. I'm going to dismiss the ad break. or snooze them.
Yeah, this is good.
Ads or snooze for 5 minutes. All right, here we go.
I can't believe it! We actually won!
That lady reminds me of Franny Von Karma, and I like it. You know what? She probably was. She is 18 years old after all.
Tyrion,
It's all she can do to hold back her tears.
You don't need to say anything. Your face says it all.
Thank you! You've more than exceeded my expectations today.
Miss Tymora.
I'll be honest. When I realized that the murder weapon evaporated, I thought that the case was shot. I can't believe you were able to turn that around.
It was just luck. If he had used water, we would have been done for.
It had nothing to do with luck. You were able to deduce which liquid he used. And you did it just by looking at a few shards of broken glass. Your skills of deduction never cease to amaze me.
Well, that's not exactly true. With Celeste there, I can't tell her about my new ability.
You all are quite lively. There's no need for such hostility. Though, I wouldn't expect any less from the Hound of the Eye Taker.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Wait, what did she mean by that?
You glance at Miss Tymora, but when she meets your gaze, she immediately looks away. She looks like she's focusing. Almost as if to protect herself from a certain eye.
I must admit, I was hoping to test my blade against you directly. However, your protege proved to be a worthy adversary.
Thank you?
Is this some kind of game to you? You talk about trials as if they're some kind of competition. Your action almost condemned an innocent woman to death. Our system operates by having two powers of opposition. When those powers are balanced, justice prevails. Make no mistake, your victory today was just our system working as intended. Ha! Working as intended. You know very well our system only exists to protect your people. I know.
What?
In any case, it looks like we'll be facing each other more frequently in the future. I look forward to doing battle with you again, Tyrion Cuthbert.
I hope Dollar Store Edgeworth brushed his teeth in turlet water.
Turlet water. Yeah, he's gonna be doing some time in the pokey. So, what a strange go.
Well, that kind of killed the mood, didn't it? Not at all. I think we should celebrate. Oh? What did you have in mind? There's this amazing restaurant in the upper quarter of the capital city. They usually only serve nobles, but they let anyone in if they have enough gold.
Wait, do we have enough gold?
Of course we do. Don't worry about the details. I'll handle everything.
Wait, just how much money does Miss Tymora make?
Something about the way some people say toilet like toilet is funny to me.
Or how about that guy Alexander from Letterkenny? He uses toilet. Like their shit on the outside of the toilet. So, yeah, anyway. And so began my journey into the world of law and magic. Our justice system is rotten to its core, and I'll have many trials ahead. Regardless, I'll keep fighting on and get justice for every one of my clients. Fiend!
Finn!
Yay! So, okay. Here, I gotta save it. Ding, dong. Okay. So, let's go forward. Uh-oh. This feeling. Go ahead.
This feeling. I knew it. His radiant soul has finally awakened. I can't believe it. I've been waiting for so long. I can't wait for the day when I can see his eyes draped in agony.
Is that the same? Is that the same crazy bitch that was looking at him before? I'm a little scared. But okay, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna head and start a new game and go to episode 2, The Walking Dead, and start the game from episode 2 and save files. So anyway.
Okay. Let me go. I'm not going anywhere until I see her.
I'm sorry, Wallace, but she's already passed. There was nothing more they could have done. Hang on. And I'm gonna save because you never know. So okay.
For a 99-cent great value Ace Attorney game, it's actually good. Oh yeah. This game has seen some very positive reviews indeed.
Yeah, it was like it's like $15 on Steam. There was nothing more they could have done.
How? This academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. Are you telling me that they couldn't do anything?
Her condition was much worse than we thought. The kingdom's magic isn't advanced enough to treat something like this.
Lucio Steelwind can rain meteors from the sky. William Frigga can teleport entire caravans across the continent. Are you telling me that your mages couldn't cure one disease?
I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Emily.
Ooh, episode 2, The Walking Dead. Yikes. So, okay. I'm sorry, Celeste, but there's no way out of this.
They're playing chess, by the way.
I'm sorry, Celeste, but there's no way out of this.
Celeste's attention is sharply focused on the chessboard between you two. You can see her eyes quickly dart from piece to piece.
Just give me a second. I can still win this.
Celeste, there's no way for you to avoid checkmate next turn. Just surrender.
She ignores you and continues staring at the pieces.
There. What about that?
Checkmate.
Gotcha.
Damn it! Would you two keep it down? We are in a library.
Miss Tymora glances at the chessboard.
I hope you didn't spend the entire morning playing around. I've been working hard, Ruby. I've already learned 2 new spell formulas since we got here. Well, at least there's that. What about you, Cuthbert?
Well...
Your flustered stammering tells her exactly how much progress you've made.
I couldn't find any books about the subject we've been looking into.
You spent the entire day combing through the kingdom's imperial library, researching the Eye of Horus. During Celeste's trial, you awakened to a new ability that you never used before. Up until then, you thought that the Eye could only see surface-level thoughts. But during that moment with Garrick Pierce, the Eye of Horus was empowered, and you could see far more than usual. Oh, my spoiled custard. You told Miss Tymora about what happened, and made you both wonder what other hidden abilities the Eye might have. You both decided it's time to find out more about the Eye and its origins. This library supposedly held the kingdom's entire knowledge of magic and the arcane arts. But you couldn't find a single mention of any ability like the Eye.
Does the kingdom seriously lack knowledge about it? Or do we need to look somewhere else? Are you sure you can't tell me what you're researching? I've traveled around the world. I might have seen something like it.
You entertained the thought for a moment, but you haven't known her for very long. The Eye of Horus is a supernatural ability that can't be detected by a spell compendium. You've always been worried about what the kingdom might do to you if they ever find out about it.
Sorry, it's not something I can really talk about.
Fine.
If I had to guess, I would say they're looking into supernatural phenomena. Who's talking here?
You and Celeste nearly jump out of your chairs.
Whoa, no.
Saxon, you look over to where the voice came from. She appears to be a student at the academy.
Get a look at those black eyes. Those purple eyes. Do they look familiar?
Oh, shit.
Remember that crazy bitch and his fever dream? Oh, boy. Strap in, kids. Anyway.
How long was she there? You didn't notice her presence at all. You also feel like she looks oddly familiar.
I'm terribly sorry if I startled you, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation.
As the girl approaches your table, you see another student frantically running after her. That's the Brazy Critch!
That's the baby. Yep.
Eris, you can't just... I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine, Wallace. I'm sorry, but who are you two? Sorry, that was incredibly rude of me. My name is Eris Ilmatter.
Name, Eris Ilmatter. Occupation, student.
And this is Wallace Nightgrave. We're both students here.
Hi. Name, Wallace Nightgrave. Occupation, student.
Not to be rude, but that was a private conversation. Just how much did you hear? I wonder... Reading about the supernatural is actually a hobby of mine. I might be able to help you with your research, Mr. Cuthbert. And what makes you so sure that is what we were researching? Mr. Cuthbert has a bad habit of muttering to himself when he thinks. I assume that his research had something to do with the supernatural.
You feel a piercing side glance from Miss Tymora. You avoid eye contact with her.
But anyways, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Of course. I'd be happy to help. Wait. Fine. I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
Oh, did you see that glitch?
Oh my god.
Just remember to show some discretion, Tyrion.
Right.
Yeah, let's just talk to her.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going. I mean, we're only an hour and 27 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, all you gotta do is talk to her.
Eris and Wallace. So, you two are students at the Imperial Academy.
Yes, I'm currently studying illusion magic. Illusions? That's the kind of magic that lets you turn invisible, right? Technically, yes, but few mages ever reach a level high enough for that. I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that I'm not able to cast invisibility. But that's still pretty cool. What about you, Wallace? Wallace has his own unique field of study.
Check the arcane art. Necromancy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's no good. That's no good at all.
Nope.
It's probably not my place to pry. Anyway, keep talking. It's Tyrion and Celeste.
Everyone is talking about you two.
Really?
It's rare for the school to let any outsiders in.
Well, that makes sense. This library isn't exactly open to the public. I was only able to get access to it because of Ms. Tymora's connections.
We only ever get occasional visits from the noble houses. So, I was curious as to who was able to break this dull monotony. Well, I'm a mercenary, but now I work as Tyrion's bodyguard.
Wallace, we're in D-Hell's Grommet.
I'm kind of embarrassed I didn't catch that. It's nicely played.
Mercenary?
Go ahead.
After a trial, it turned out that Celeste was more than capable of affording your services. However, Miss Tymora still proposed a different arrangement. After indicting Garrick Pierce, you painted a large target on your back. With Celeste being a mercenary, Miss Tymora decided to hire her as your bodyguard. She figured you would feel more comfortable around someone you were already friends with.
Anyways, I'm a defense attorney.
A defense attorney? My apologies. It's just not what I was expecting.
What's that supposed to mean? Supernatural phenomena.
Supernatural phenomena. I wonder why you would be researching such a thing. Yeah, I want to know too.
Keep your mouth shut, kid. I'm sorry, but I can't really say.
Regardless, there are many spells in this world. So, why are you so convinced that this phenomenon wasn't produced by a spell?
What we're looking into doesn't seem to follow the classic rules of magic.
Oh? How so? Please tell me.
It was created by someone who's not a mage.
Penalty for not getting the joke right away. Poof, bangs his new gavel so hard the whole judge's desk breaks like a Lego set.
You do realize you're going to have to pay for his honor's desk, and that was oak. Cherry oak. It's not cheap. Anyway.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So you're saying that this is something created by a person?
The words came out of your mouth before you realized it. You sent a small apologetic look to Miss Tymora.
I wonder if this crazy pitch also kind of like planted the seed into his mind.
That does remind me of a story.
A story?
Mr. Cuthbert, do you know the legend about how the kingdom of Rivengard was created?
You mean the story about the ancient dragons?
The ancient what?
What the hell what is she talking about?
The ancient dragon.
Does Rivengard have a story about ancient dragons?
It's only about one ancient dragon. The Church of Bahamut refers to him as the Scaled Lord. Ah, there we go. I'm sure you've even heard people mention him before. Legends say that the first mages were created centuries ago by him. Uh-oh. At that time, our kingdom was caught in the middle of a brutal war. With no way to defend themselves, the kingdom was on the brink of destruction. Our people prayed to Bahamut, the god of dragons, for salvation. And almost as if to answer their prayers, Rathalion, the last Scaled Lord, appeared before them. The Scaled Lord bestowed the gift of magic on a band of heroes who were fighting on the front lines. With their magic, these heroes utterly overtook the kingdom's enemies and single-handedly won the war. It's said that these heroes went on to form the noble houses of today.
What a load of nonsense. That story is nothing but religious propaganda to prop up the noble houses. Regardless, the significance of this legend is in the Scaled Lord himself.
Do you mean Rathalion?
Rathalion bestowed the power to become a mage on several individuals. And to this day, that power can only be passed down genetically. Can you think of an arcane spell that can produce something like that?
No, I suppose not.
Rathalion must have had powers that weren't bound by the rules of the arcane arts. In other words, he could create supernatural phenomena without following the rules of magic.
I don't like where this conversation's going.
Please, do you honestly expect us to believe a story like that? It's completely unrealistic.
I'm thinking she's trying to cover her own ass.
As unrealistic as a non-mage using supernatural powers?
She has a point. It's a far-fetched theory, but it's honestly the closest thing we have to a lead right now.
Of course it will be you lot making... of course it will be you lots making all this noise.
Oh, boy.
Suddenly, a woman who appears to be an instructor approaches you.
Actually, executive decision, I'm gonna try to tackle this one.
Okay, fine. She looks upon each of you with an equal amount of disdain.
Oh, she's the librarian.
Professor Bellwether. Catherine Bell.
Catherine Bellwether. No good can ever come of a game in an anime where one of the characters is named Catherine.
That is Professor Bellwether to you. But didn't he just call you? I know letting you rabbit on your walls would lead to nothing but trouble. You've even started associated with our malcontents. The headmaster gave us express permission to be here. If you have an issue with that, take it up with him. I'll have you know that I was on my way to do just that. Wallace.
Yes. Yep.
How am I supposed to understand you when you're stuttering?
Yes, Professor Bellwether.
Straighten out your uniform and fix that awful hair. You look like a street urchin. I suppose it's unreasonable to expect anything more. And as for you, I'll be on my way.
What the hell was that?
Catherine? That name is Evil Incarnationate.
Yep, absolutely. Although...
Oh, I hate her ass.
What a bitch.
Celeste!
No punches pulled here. I love it.
Oh, come on. We were all thinking it. Anyways, with that out of the way, shall we begin?
Uh-oh.
What? Why do I keep detecting fear from Celeste?
Wallace, you finished this week's assignment, haven't you? Would you mind helping Celeste with her research?
I don't know.
Now that you mention it, I could really use some help finding a specific spell formula. You know your way around here, right, Wallace?
In the wise words of such a command, I find her guilty of being a bitch. Okay.
Don't worry, Miss Tymora. I'll be more careful from now on.
Please do. I still have some business to take care of here, so I'll leave you all to it.
You spend the next few hours searching through the library's books with Eris. You hadn't thought to look into the ancient dragons, and the library had books about them in abundance. There was one problem, though.
There are a lot of myths and stories about the ancient dragons, and it's pretty difficult to tell fact from fiction with these accounts.
It can't be helped. The Church of Bahamut is the dominant religion of our kingdom. We have the bones of dragons displayed in museums, but those bones are the only widely known evidence of the dragon's existence.
Except for Rathalion. Possibly... I wonder if he's still alive, like you said.
I wouldn't be surprised. Despite everything, our kingdom's constitution still includes him in our government.
Wait, really?
As the savior of our kingdom, he and his kin were given an honorary position on our political hierarchy. The ancient dragon's authority technically rivals that of King Olivier.
Wow, I had no idea. How have I never heard of this before?
To be honest, that law is just a way to revere him and appease the church.
Well, Rathalion couldn't possibly be any worse than nobility. Gah!
You're so stuck in your own thoughts that you accidentally bumped into a bookshelf. the shelf begins to tip over, and you're able to catch it before it fully falls over. Ooh, that was... But not before several books fall out from their shelves. Uh-oh. They hit the ground with a cacophony of thuds. Some students glance in your direction.
Be quiet. Sorry.
Be quiet. Eris begins giggling. She seems amused by what's happening.
Hey, are you okay? I heard a loud... Whoa.
Celeste stares at a pile of fallen books.
What did you do?
Forget that. Just help me clean this up.
There's no need for that. Construct, I require assistance.
Acknowledged.
What?
Upon Eris' command, one of the nearby suits of armor suddenly springs to life and begins walking towards you. The voice coming out of it sounds human, but it lacks emotion. Why does it sound familiar?
Huh? Wait, did you do that, Eris?
Yes, this is an arcane construct. It's a suit of armor that's animated using artificery. They're designed to carry out various tasks for the students.
Arcane constructs are suits of armor that are animated using artificery. They can carry out simple tasks when ordered to. The ones in the Imperial Academy speak using the voice of Catherine Bellwether. These voice lines can only be changed or adjusted by the Academy headmaster. Every command given to a construct is stored in its command log. However, this command log must be cleared regularly.
What in the RoboCop hell is that?
Exactly. He kind of looks like the Shredder without his the spikes on his helmet.
Really? I didn't know anything like that existed. They're still experimental, so they aren't available to the public yet. With that being said, Construct, please place these books back where they belong.
Acknowledged.
On Eris' command, the construct begins quickly picking up the books. It moves with inhuman efficiency. After only a few seconds, all of the books are back on their shelves.
Wow! So they do whatever you tell them to do? Well, there are some limits to... Construct, tell me that I'm the fairest maiden you've ever seen.
Command rejected.
Oh, what?
I guess they're not allowed to lie. Oh God, don't do that.
You feel a sharp pain in your side as Select quickly jabs you.
Just like a jab with the elbow.
The construct's voice is just a series of pre-recorded messages. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it uses the voice of Professor Bellwether. Unfortunately, you can't make them say anything other than what's recorded. Only the headmaster can change those settings.
Artificery that can record audio. I've never seen anything like it.
But you just said that they're experimental, right? Maybe if I keep asking you, you'll just give up and do it. I would advise against that. Even if the commands are rejected, they're still stored in the construct's command logs. Anyways, we should probably get back to work. Fine.
You read more about the ancient dragons, but most of the stories read more like fables than actual historical accounts.
I don't feel like I'm making any progress.
Suddenly, you hear a thunderous, low-pitched sound blare across the room.
Uh-oh, it's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's the sound of the police. Sounds like a high-pitched horn, but with its volume turned up to unnatural levels.
Warning, warning.
What? Celeste, do you hear that?
How can I not? What is that?
You didn't touch anything you weren't supposed to, right?
What? Of course not. It finally stopped.
Eris, wasn't that the lockdown system?
Yes, I believe so.
Lockdown system?
The Academy is outfitted with a large artificery system. In a state of emergency, it will erect magical barriers throughout the building. State of emergency? Should we be worried? Don't worry. The lockdown is designed to keep everyone safe. We're safe as long as the barriers are up.
But Miss Tymora, she said she was going to do something on campus.
I'm terribly sorry. You suddenly hear a disembodied voice echo through the library. It sounds like it's being projected magically. It's the headmaster. He's using the intercom system.
Students and faculty, please hang on a second, I got an idea.
Do megaphone or something.
No, I'm good. Students and faculty, please remain calm. There's been a murder on the academy grounds. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Not another one of these. What? Please stay where you are and wait for law enforcement to arrive. Damn it, we have to get out of here.
I'm afraid that's not possible. The lockdown system protects and locks each room. You can't leave this room until it's deactivated.
Well, we won't know until we try.
You run to the entrance and begin frantically pulling on the door's handle. You try to put all your strength into prying it open, but it doesn't even budge.
Tyrion, stop!
But Miss Tymora.
I know that you're worried about her, but there's already been a murder. We don't know where the attacker is, or if they're still armed. The best thing we can do right now is stay here and wait.
She's right. Damn it. Well, who's dead? That's what I want to know.
Celeste's hand rests on her sword. Her eyes are carefully watching the entrance. Wow, we've been here for hours and she still hasn't stopped watching the door. She was also able to calm you down earlier. It's easy to forget sometimes, but she's always reliable when it really counts.
What?
Students and faculty, thank you for your patience. Law enforcement has secured the building. The lockdown has been lifted. However, please remain in the building until...
The headmaster is barely finished with his message before you're out the door.
Tyrion! Hey, don't go off on your own!
You desperately run through the academy hallways.
No! Miss Tymora! Miss Tymora, where are you? Package. Please,
what?
for the love of God, don't tell me that we're about to experience the same thing again.
We gotta prove that, though. You have no idea where you're going. You have no idea where you're even going anymore.
Like, think about it. Mia Fey, dead. Second episode. Kazuma Sogi, dead. Second episode. Until he found out he was revived. But, like, Jesus Christ. It's just too much of a coincidence.
You can feel your fear and anxiety rise with every passing moment. Where is she?
Cuthbert,
Oh my God.
what's wrong? Why are you shouting?
Oh, thank Christ. We've dodged a bullet again. Miss Tymora.
Calm down, you're hyperventilating.
I heard there was a murder, and I've been looking all over for you.
And you are worried about me?
I just...
You hug Miss Tymora tightly as you're overcome with emotion.
Well, she's his guardian, right?
She's usually not receptive to affection, but you don't care. You're just relieved that she's safe.
Tyrion, there you are! And you're crying! Sorry, I didn't mean to worry you so much. We heard the announcement. Do you know what happened, Ruby? I do, but...
You see Miss Tymora glance at Wallace for a brief moment.
For now, I think we should head to the foyer.
Uh-oh. You arrive at the foyer and see the room swarm with a legion of familiar knights.
Oh boy, here we go. Is that the Inquisition? Don't tell me.
The headmaster mentioned that there was a murder on campus. Someone used magic.
Hey, you there. As you enter the foyer, Commander White notices you and begins marching in your direction.
Uh-oh.
But his attention isn't focused on you.
Don't tell me he's focused on Celeste again?
Nope. Uh-huh. Are you Wallace Nightgrave? Yes, but... By the authority of the Wyvern Crown, I'm placing you under arrest.
Hey, what are you doing?
You three? The hell are you doing here?
You said he was under arrest. On what charges?
This kid is charged with the murder of Catherine Bellwether.
Oh, no!
Oh, shit!
What?
Wasn't that the professor you met in the library earlier?
Wasn't that the professor we met in the library earlier?
Like hell you're arresting him. He was with us in the library for the entire morning. There's no way he could have murdered her. Move aside, Celeste. But...
Miss Tymora is right. If Wallace is a suspect, we can't stop the Inquisition from arresting him.
No.
Don't worry, Wallace. We'll get to the bottom of what happened.
Without a word, Wallace allows the Inquisition to drag him away.
My apologies. I'm gonna go and check on him. Ugh, this is terrible.
I still don't understand. Why would they suspect Wallace of all people?
I'm not sure myself. Like most magical homicides, this school is filled with plenty of mages. There has to be a long list of suspects. Isn't there anything we can do?
I'm going to go investigate what happened.
Cuthbert,
Yes?
he hasn't accepted you as his attorney yet. You don't even know if you'll be working this case.
But I know that he's innocent. I just can't sit here and do nothing.
Well, I clearly can't stop you. But please remember that being an attorney is your job. It's not charity work. Don't come crying to me if you run out of gold.
Right.
Anyways, I still have some business to take care of in the city. Will you two be okay handling this?
Yes, we'll take care of this.
Good. I leave everything to you then.
All right, let's go, Celeste.
Right.
Would you
See
like
the
to say your
progress?
Absolutely.
Because you never know.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cut it right here. So, man, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of wish that we'd be able to, coincide these episodes, so it's like the start of episode 1 goes all the way through to the end. The start of episode 2 goes, but, instead we're like cutting it in quarters, but we do what we can. But man, I'll tell you what, this was, that was, now, so, okay, there's a lot of questions, but hopefully the investigation will enlighten them. So, we'll keep an eye on when voice acting is next time. Hopefully we'll be able to resume it on Wednesdays, but with the schedules being what they are, it's going to be kind of difficult. So just keep a lookout on Facebook. That's where we'll be posting it. So until next time, kids, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the Package Andrew Steele.
We are the Steel Twins, and we are for real. Top guys out. Ciao.
Adios, muchacho.